Many of us love to see a well-produced documentary TV series, or movie based on a real event, or just a TV reality talk show. But how about watching someone reveal their shocking criminal actions or confessions on live TV? Some people may think it's a setup event for the sake of TV ratings, but no one can deny the fact that it solved the problems. Here are 5 live TV appearance confessions that solved cases. Number 5. Evangelist Marcus Lamb, age 53, who earns a fortune from his Dallas-based network Daystar, made an astonishing TV confession after 3 of his ex-employees demanded $7.5 million to keep the story out of the papers. Appearing on an hour-long TV broadcast alongside her husband, Lamb's wife, Johnny Lamb, age 50, revealed the heartbreak over the preacher's infidelity, but started by telling her husband, "You and I are strong, and I think our marriage is better today than it has ever been." She explained how she found out about the long-term affair, but claimed she forgave her husband. She said, "I was devastated and sad and thought my whole world was crashing in around me." The Lambs told Good Morning America that they had always intended to make the affair public, but had hoped to let the healing and restoration process complete first. When faced with this, Johnny said, "We knew we had to share our story. I'm kind of glad that we shared it." After she learned of the affair, the couple submitted to counseling, and then their trust in each other was nearly restored. During the television confessional, she told her husband that God had convinced her it was worth the fight. It was Johnny Lamb, the wife, who did most of the talking during the show's confession. The preacher would not give details of the affair, but said it happened a few years ago. He also said he took full responsibility for his wrong actions and said he knew that God had forgiven him for his mistakes. Dallas attorney James Fisher represents ex-employee Jeanette Hawkins and 2 other former Daystar employees and said he met with Daystar lawyers on November 18th to seek a settlement. Fisher didn't want to reveal the amount of money he asked for, but he said, "I did not threaten to go to the news media with the story of the affair." John Lynch IV, a grapevine lawyer for Daystar, said, "I would strongly refute his position that he didn't indicate he was going to the media. He made it clear there was a $7.5 million number." Speaking to ABC's Good Morning America, Lamb said the police were investigating his extortion claims. The couple say that they never considered taking the money from the ministry to pay to keep the affair a secret. Number 4. When a criminal finally confesses to a crime, it usually occurs in the dark confines of a police interrogation room, after hours of difficult questioning and psychological breakdowns. But for one woman and her boyfriend, their crime of passion was revealed on statewide television during a live TV show. Tamil woman Baby Kala could have gotten away with the crime against her husband if she'd only kept her secret on TV. This specific TV show involves various people coming forward to speak to the host about their problems in the hope that she can offer some sort of advice, and that by telling their story, they achieve some measure of peace by simply getting it off their chests. On one episode of the show, Kala came on and spilled the beans about the entire affair. According to her account, she and another man became romantically involved several years ago, and after a time, they decided to finally act on their love by getting married. Unfortunately though, Kala is not a single lady. She had married another man in 1995, but their union had not been a happy one. To resolve the problem, they decided to get rid of this man. Kala and her new boyfriend managed to take care of the former husband on the night of July 17, 2010. They then told everyone that he had passed away of a heart attack and were able to conduct a cremation ceremony and get away with it freely. However, in the intervening 3.5 years, her new boyfriend found another woman and fell in love with her. He subsequently left Kala to be with this woman and announced his intention to marry her. This made Kala angry and filled with jealousy, who then decided to go on television and confess to the crime. It was an intense TV show spectacle in front of potentially millions of people live on air. Both accepted their involvement in the crime during the police investigation and now have landed in prison. Since the confession was made on the show, the host was asked to appear in court as a witness. Number 3. On Friday, the 11th of May, 2012, Derby woke up to news that there had been a fire in the Allenton area. Within hours, the 5 children who lived at the home passed away in the fire, while a 6th was critically injured and in the hospital. The police began their investigation by eliminating those closest to the family, but their suspicions began to center around a couple after they gave a live press conference on the 16th of May. Assistant Chief Constable Steve Cotterill described Mick Philpott's behavior as the most astonishing thing he had ever seen in 3 decades of policing. He said, "I would have expected him to be completely and utterly destroyed," adding, "It was like watching an actor playing a part. It's a sham in my view." Officers had to tread carefully in investigating their suspicions. Mick Philpott had certain celebrity status. In 2006, Philpott was being heavily criticized in the UK tabloid media when he requested a larger council house for his family, which then consisted of his wife and his mistress and their 4 children, as well as 3 other children born to his mistress. After his mistress, Lisa Willis, gave birth to her 4th child by Philpott, the press revealed that both she and his wife were expecting babies, due in March of 2007. Before their birth, Philpott appeared on the Jeremy Kyle show to defend his lifestyle, saying that he would like to marry one woman and divorce the other, and added that he would have a vasectomy. Philpott appeared in an episode of the ITV documentary series Anne Widdecombe Versus in 2007, in which the conservative minister Anne Widdecombe spent a week with him and tried to persuade him to change his lifestyle. He found Philpott 3 jobs, one of which was a barrel-making firm, but he didn't turn up for work on the first day and the job fell through. In the documentary, Philpott was shown to be living in a caravan in his garden. Widdecombe said that Philpott did not care about anyone and insulted his wife and mistress. Widdecombe also said she noticed that some of his children sought affection from him. Back to this case though. In early November 2012, forensic evidence had revealed that there was petrol on Philpott's clothing and that of the couple's family friend, Paul Mosley. He too was arrested. But what motive could have prompted a father to set fire to his house and his children trapped inside? The police discovered that on the morning of the fire, Philpott had been due to face his former mistress, Lisa Willis, in court over access to their 4 children. The fire was an attempt to frame her and win custody of them. But while the police's case was ultimately successful, a detective on the case remained sorrowful, saying, "I will never lose sight of the fact that 6 children have gone in the most horrendous circumstances at the hands of their mother and father and their friend." Number 2. Maninder Singh went to the News 18 office and told the cameraman he wanted to confess. TV staff then took him into the studio and broadcast this confession. He said he had taken away his girlfriend's life on New Year's Eve. Mrs. Carr, a 27-year-old nurse, was found passed away in a hotel room. He said, "I finished her because she was having an affair with her sister-in-law's brother." He told the news channel that the Carr's family had objected to their relationship and forbid them from being married as he belonged to a different social class. He told the presenter of the show that he came for a confession because he could not have an agreement with the family. He added that he'd come to confess because the police had been harassing his family ever since they found the body of his girlfriend in 2019 in the hotel room. He'd been on the run ever since, haunted by his actions. A police official told BBC he wanted publicity and sympathy and hoped that some lawyers would take up his case as he had no money to engage with a lawyer. The police added another shocking fact to journalists, that Singh was also suspected of taking away a previous girlfriend's life in the neighboring state. He'd been out on bail as the investigation was still ongoing. Police arrived at the studio and arrested him as he was still sitting in the interview chair. The incident, which some compared as a pivotal scene from The Joker, has raised issues around media ethics. Some people think the TV station was looking for fame and exposure from the public, while some said it was a genuine incident and needed to be exposed and got the attention it deserved. Number 1. Brian Keith Hawkins had recently joined the religion of Christianity and learned more about his new faith, thus prompting him to confess to police that he took away a young man's life and wanted to do the right thing by ending the nightmare of guilt he'd been living. In January of 2018, he approached Redding, California-based ABC affiliate KRCR to confess to a crime he allegedly helped commit in 1993. KRCR said it would only agree to interview Hawkins if he turned himself in and police corroborated the confession. Hawkins agreed. After asking for soda and time for a quick smoke break, Hawkins sat down with KRCR in front of a camera and revealed what he alleges happened to Frank Wesley McAllister, who was 20 at the time in 1993. God and Christ and these things that have happened over 25 years have pushed me and keep pushing me to do the right thing. He and his accomplices, Shanna Culver, who was his girlfriend at the time, along with Curtis Culver, were all arrested on charges related to the homicide of a 22-year-old man, Frank Wesley McAllister, in May of 1993. McAllister was first reported missing after police found his car abandoned at a Costco parking lot. About 1 year later, a hiker stumbled across McAllister's remains. According to investigators, Hawkins said they lured McAllister into a rural area of Shasta County so they could rob him and buy illegal pills. Once they got there, the trio allegedly decided to take McAllister's life, leaving his body in the woods. Detectives knew in 1993 that these were the last 3 people to see McAllister alive, but Hawkins and the Culver siblings denied any connection with McAllister. At the time, investigators were unable to find evidence tying them to the case until Hawkins' TV confession. In his tearful interview, Hawkins said that he was blinded by worldly possessions when he committed the crime, but that God had opened his eyes and now he's seeking peace. As for McAllister's family, Hawkins said that he contacted them last year to seek forgiveness and explain what happened. But Frank's father, Douglas McAllister, passed away in October of 2017 before Hawkins met him in person. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to click that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to keep up to date with all of our future uploads. But I've been Ty Knotts, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.